Good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of NBA Central with your host, Big Bro and Steve O Speaks. We're coming with another preview episode for all of tonight's action in the NBA. Man, we got 12, 13 games tonight, Steve O. We're going to run through them for you guys. But first, you got to hit the intro.
Thank you for tuning in to the number one place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted by the Cognac Boys.
Steve O, man.
You.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've been doing these, and it's the first time that we're gonna highlight the Bulls game as the first game. You did,
Gee, okay, we can go with that. It is a big game for
yeah,
sure. We
man.
do got to play the Atlanta Hawks. If you a Bulls fan, you know the magnitude of this game. But for those who don't know, it's almost like isn't it like a tiebreaker situation? Correct?
Yeah, right now the Bulls and the Hawks, I believe, have a win versus each other. No, the Bulls actually are up
Yeah,
two
two
games
games
to
to one.
one, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. Exactly. So if the Bulls win this game, then there'll be 3 games to 1, which puts them, which would jump them from 10th place to 8th place, and then also put them right behind Miami for 7th place. And we know how important 7th and 8th place is. It means it gives you at least 2 opportunities to make it to the
Mhm.
playoffs. So this game is humongous. It's humongous. It's only what 3 games left, four
Yep,
games left.
three.
Um, so this you just can't overlook this game. Everybody who's a Chicago fan, everybody who's a Hawks fan, and NBA fans even are gonna be checking this game out tonight.
Yeah, it should be a playoff type game. It's actually starting tonight. It's actually 4 games for us left. So this the fourth game. So hey, it's a big game. We know what the magnitude is. We've been coming in playing solid basketball. Is like I've been saying, it's like we allergic to 500 basketball. As soon as we get close to 500 basketball, it's like we start itching and we start losing. So hey, we know the magnitude. We got to come in. They're definitely a beatable team, but they can definitely beat us as well. That's exactly how it can go.
Well, right now we're talking about 500 basketball. Atlanta has been a quintessential 500 basketball team this season. I don't think they've ever been more than 1 game above 500, or even more than 1 game below after a stretch. Like it's been well documented that the Hawks have been mid. They've literally won and lost the same amount of games all season long. It's been crazy to see. But at least they can get to 500. The Chicago Bulls, every time they get to within 1 game of 500, they find themselves going on a 2 or 3 game losing streak to take that away. And it's crazy to think that if they go undefeated this week, they could actually finish above 500, considering how things look. Things look really bleak back in January, February.
Yeah, that's what it is, bro. Like, and it's crazy because if you look at who they got left, it's like they schedule is just as tough as ours. They got to play
Hmm.
after us. They got to play Wizards, and then they got to play 76ers and Celtics. So
And
yeah.
you already know who licking their chops on the Bulls
Oh
side.
yeah.
Io DeSumo is licking his chops to get
It's
another shot at
oh bro,
Trey
his
Young.
son in town on bro.
And I think, you know what I think licking their chops too? Zach LaVine. That man been balling offensively, and he ready to go out there and show these guys that he's not the same Zach LaVine that faced them three games prior to
Facts,
this.
facts. 100%
So
agree.
who you got?
Um, we at the crib, so I'm gonna say us. Even though if we wasn't at the crib, I'll be saying that. But especially with us being at the crib, the way I've been seeing Zach attitude, the way I've been seeing the team rally, and the way we attack the team as a defensive team as we did in that last game, we gotta carry that
Against
over.
Memphis? Yeah.
We gotta carry that over. And we already know offensively that Memphis team was way better than the Hawks team. So we attack them the same way we get the same results. So I'm going with the Chicago Bulls, barring any
Bro.
injuries. Anybody's out tonight.
Oh yeah, bro. And honestly, I feel like, hey, I might even be in a homer with this one. I think the Bulls got this locked up especially if they carry over what happened with
Mhm.
Memphis. So I'm going with the Bulls too. All right, so we're gonna give you guys a quick rundown of the remaining games for the night. We're gonna start with Raptors versus Hornets. The Raptors have already locked up their play-in tournament situation, but they definitely want to stay in front of the teams that they're in front of. They're sitting at 39 and 39. Who you got between the Raptors and the
I'm gonna just
Hornets?
go with the Raptors just because I believe they match up way better against the Hornets. They're a way bigger team. Um, of course, Pascal is still there, and I think Gary Trent has starting to come back and find his way back into his role. So it just talent, the way the team built, etc. I just feel like they're a way better team. Now, not saying that the Hornets can come in and win because it's definitely possible, but I'm gonna go with Toronto just because they match up against them better.
Yeah, I'm going with Toronto too, but hey, the Hornets have been playing spoiler lately. They got what it takes to beat this team. So we'll see if the Hornets keep on taking down these so-called playoff
Yeah, for
teams.
real.
All right. We got the Heat versus Pistons, and the other day we kind of was dismissive toward the bottom feeder teams, but they came out and won. It was a couple of teams in this, the teams would win 17, 18 wins that beat teams that's in the playoff hunt the other
Yep,
day.
it's definitely possible.
But I'm still going with the Miami Heat over
Oh
the
yeah.
Pistons.
Bro. As soon as I looked at the schedule, I was like, I'm going Miami Heat, bro. Like the Pistons on like a what 10 game losing streak right now. So like they ain't won a game since that Pacers game on the 13th.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah,
crazy.
it's like
That's
yeah.
nuts.
So it's either like yeah, I just don't see with the. I mean, it's a possibility with them being at home in Detroit. It's a possibility, but I just feel like if the normal people playing like Jimmy Bam and them, they playing they waxing them.
Now it's the next game. The next game that we have on the docket is the Orlando Magic versus Cavaliers in
Ooh,
Orlando, and it's interesting because Cleveland's going for their 50th win, so I'm sure they're gonna try their best to win that game. But or out of everybody in the Eastern Conference, Washington's eliminated, the Pacers eliminated, the Hornets are eliminated, and the Pistons are eliminated. But the Orlando Magic are not eliminated right now. That's because they currently hold the tiebreaker over the Chicago Bulls. And if the Chicago Bulls lose their next four games and the Orlando Magic win their next four games, they'll be in the play-in, and the Chicago Bulls will not be in the play-in. So shout out to the Orlando Magic for at least making it interesting down the stretch here. But I'm gonna go with Cleveland, especially if they play their starters. Of course, you don't know this late in the season who's going to be on the court. You don't know early in the season who's going to be on the court to be 100. But at this juncture, I think the fact that Cleveland is trying to get their 50th win, they should win tonight on the road in Orlando. Who you
I
got?
got Cleveland as well, and I get what you saying with the players, and I think they're going to play their starters tonight because they have a back to back. They got to play Cleveland twice. So after this game, they got. I think they go back to Cleveland and play the same game. So I could see them playing all their starters tonight, so they could rest them for the next game. So I'm gonna go with Cleveland.
I think that if the Orlando Magic lose tonight and the Bulls win, then that puts the Bulls squarely into the play-in tournament. They should be good. There'll be no more questions about whether or not they'll be in the play-in
For
tournament.
sure.
So the next game we have the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Washington Wizards. The Wizards have played their way out of the play-in tournament. The Bucks have pretty much what they need. They're in the first place in the Eastern Conference. I think that this is going to be a Bucks win, but I don't know who's playing.
That's
Like
what I
it's
was just about to go.
who's playing.
Like that was, I said these one of those games where we can definitely sit. They can sit their starters, and I don't have no problem with them doing it. So I feel like it's definitely possible. Like even like the bench can come in and get a dub. Like just because we all know their bench is good enough. Like they get one of the best. They they always been one of the deepest teams in the league. So they can always come up bring a win. So I don't know. I say barring. I say Wizards just get the win because I feel like nobody's gonna play.
Yeah, I mean, Milwaukee still got something to play for. They want to keep the Boston Celtics at bay and maintain their number one spot in the East and in the NBA, honestly, because they have more wins than the Denver Nuggets. So there's still something to play for if Milwaukee's thinking about going to the finals. They want home court advantage. They want home court advantage through the playoffs. So maybe they play their starters a little bit, and then we'll see what happens. So, but again, if Milwaukee starting their starters, I'm going with Milwaukee to win this
Yeah,
game tonight.
of course. That's how I was going. If they starting, we already know what it is. But hey, like I said, it's a possibility that this bench come in and just wax them too. Because they got one of the they like I said, they one of the deepest teams in the league. Been like that for a couple years now. So yeah.
Yes, sir. So now we got a pretty good game between Eastern and Western Conference squads. We got the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn. Mikal Bridges been carrying that Brooklyn Nets squad offensively. Timberwolves to turn their season around, kind of like the Bulls have, and they're squarely in the play-in situation and trying to make some playoffs implications as well. We'll look at what's going on out west. Minnesota is number 9 right now, but they're only 2 games back of the number 6 seeded Golden State Warriors. So now you got the situation where these 9 and 10 teams, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 10 teams got to win to get out of the play-in and into the playoffs, or at least stay in the play-in. I think Minnesota's solid though. The only teams behind them are Oklahoma, Dallas, and Utah, and you already know what's going on with Dallas and Utah. Kind of been sputtering a little bit as well. So I think
Yep.
Minnesota's safe. Who you got in this game tonight, though?
I got Minnesota. I feel like Minnesota knows the magnitude of what's everything's going on, and they come in there playing hard. They know they down a player, so they gonna come in executing at a high level. They're gonna play tight basketball. They're gonna come in trying to win this game. I feel like they're gonna come and do it. Just by some of the stuff you said, like they know the Jazz just lost Walker Kessler. Walker's done for the season with due to concussion protocol. So they know the situations around the league. They paying attention just like we paying attention. So I feel like they come in Brooklyn and steal one tonight.
Man, and looking at Brooklyn circumstance over here in the Eastern Conference, they're not catching the number 5 seed. We see New York is taking care of business,
No,
but they
bro.
can fall to 7, and Brooklyn knows the magnitude of this game as well. Like they don't want to be in the play-in tournament or to have 1 or 2 games to get themselves back into the playoffs. But Miami right there behind them at 41 and 37. So as much as Minnesota knows what's going on, Brooklyn knows what's going on, and that's why I'm picking Brooklyn to win tonight to try to put a little bit more distance between them and the team that's right behind them and avoid that play-in tournament. Brooklyn's gonna get it done at home.
I feel that. I just feel like the magnitude is a little bit higher on the Minnesota Tide, so they gonna come in guns blazing.
It should be a good one. So our
Hmm.
next game it would normally have like super duper implications, but I think the 76ers cannot catch the Celtics. They're 3 games behind them right now with only 4 games left to play. And the Celtics are going into Philly to play this game on TNT tonight. Jason Tatum, MVP hopeful up until a couple of months ago when he had a stretch where he wasn't putting up big numbers versus Joel Embiid, who still hopes to get the MVP over Joker, and he should. If Joel Embiid plays tonight at home versus the Celtics, I got the Sixers winning that
He
game. What you
better,
think?
goddamn it. You know what I'm saying? He better. Like, bro, you didn't already duck the Jokic matchup. You can't be ducking everything now. So yeah, I feel like, hey, Philly been on a tear as of late. Let me say not a tear, but first of all, that Bucks loss hurt him.
Man,
That hurt as a pride. I feel like that hurt him as a pride. So Joel Embiid's gonna come in mad. He know what the he know what the implications is. He know Boston is a holy grail to some people, and they right under him. So they gonna come in trying to make a statement. They gonna come in try to get this win, and they at the crib. We all know Philly does some of their best ball at the crib. So I'm going with Philly tonight.
yeah, I got Philly winning that one too. Real quick, we'll just say the Nuggets are going to beat the Rockets. I don't care who on the court.
We got to talk about it. What's understood do not have to be explained.
And then again, we got the Grizzlies beating the Blazers. I don't care who on the court.
Bro.
And then over to the Kings versus Pelicans. Now the Kings have already pretty much locked up their position in the Western Conference. So I don't know if they're going to be playing all their players. Um, but the Pelicans find themselves in a situation where if they win tonight's game, depending on the tiebreaker situation, they could jump as high as fifth. They could jump from eighth to fifth with a win tonight. In fact, let's see if the
And with a
Clippers,
Golden State L tonight because
yeah,
they play OKC.
yep,
Yeah, it's
and
definitely possible.
The Clippers don't play, so
Hmm.
that means that they'll be as low as sixth, right? Because they'll have a better
Yep.
record than they'll be at 41-38 if they have the tiebreaker over the Clippers, and then they had a tiebreaker over the Lake on the Golden State. Let's see if Golden State lose, you got New Orleans being in sixth place automatically. Even if Golden State win, they should overtake the Clippers depending on whatever their tiebreaker situation. And at the very least, they're going to jump ahead of the Lakers. So New Orleans has a lot to play for tonight. That's why I'm picking them to win this game. Um,
Me too.
Go ahead. You picking the Golden? You picking them to win this game?
Yeah, because like I said a couple episodes ago, I feel like they already lost. I believe. Let me double check. They done already lost a game that they shouldn't have lost. Yeah, that Warriors game. So they was on like a high winning streak.
Yeah.
So I was already knowing that they was gonna like, bro. If y'all want to have this fight to get into a way better position, y'all gotta play some of y'all best ball. Y'all can't lose. And they been winning majority of the time. They won, I believe, 7 out of 1, maybe. I mean, 10 out of 1, maybe, or 9 out of 1, or one, like something like that. So, hey, I feel like they coming in, know what the situation is. I'm pretty sure Sac ain't gonna have majority of their starters in. They should come in and get that dub real quick. Plus, they at the crib.
Now another big game tonight in the Western Conference is the Lakers versus the Jazz. Now you see where the Lakers sit. You see where the Jazz sit. The Jazz are sitting behind Dallas. They got to win this game to keep their play-in hopes alive, and to not the Lakers down the run. The Lakers will be 40-39 if they lose this game, and it doesn't really hurt them in the play-in, but it at least gives Utah hope. But I don't see the Lakers losing this game tonight, Steve.
Me either. Like my only, I guess I was the only thing that was going through my mind as you was going is, I mean, I know Walker is gone, but if I'm not mistaken, AD just got hurt as well, so he twisted his ankle. So I don't know if he's playing tonight. So they could definitely take advantage of that. But we all know LA been playing the Lakers, especially has been playing some of their best ball after the All Star break. So it's going to be a tough type of game, especially with Walker being one of your best defenders, one of your best shot blockers being gone. So yeah, I'm going to say I'm going with the Lakers.
Same, same. So last two games of the night, we're gonna start with the first one, the Thunder. Actually, we'll skip that one real quick. We'll just say the Spurs are gonna lose to the Suns. We'll just
For
put that
sure.
out there. The Suns should win that game and bolster their playoff situation. But a good game between the Thunder and the Warriors, a very important game is for the Thunder because Dallas is right there behind them, and if they lose this game, it kind of breathes life into the Dallas Mavericks season.
Hmm. Exactly. It it is like this. I feel like this game it means so much for so many people in the West. It's like it affects so many people. It gives Dallas hope. It gives Utah hope to some degree. Give Minnesota hope to move up. It gives the Pelicans hopes to move up. So I feel like this game right now it's like after this game tonight, this whole standard should look completely different.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one out west. It's a lot of playoff implication games tonight. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us on NBA
Bro,
Central, the prediction show. Here is the playoffs as the playoffs started today. You guys can see what it looks like. A lot of these teams are gonna be jockeying for position. So that 3-6 matchup could definitely be different out west. That 2-7 matchup could definitely be different out west. So you're looking at a situation where these teams got to come out and perform tonight, and I love it. It should be a lot of playoff atmosphere games this evening in the NBA.
da
Steve
da
O.
da 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 da.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
bro.
So I'm Big Bro along with Steve O Speaks. We are rocking with you guys on NBA Central. This was your predictions episode. And we're gonna see y'all tomorrow.
Leave
And then
y'all comments and
yep.
y'all predictions in the comments, please. We
Let
want
us
to see
know who y'all
y'all's as
think
well.
gonna win. Let's go. Let us know who y'all think gonna win. Make sure y'all email us as well. We can definitely do a mailbag episode. The playoffs coming up, so we definitely looking forward to doing prediction shows for that. Don't forget to rock with the game tonight as the Chicago Bulls take on the Atlanta Hawks at the UC in the United Center. We're gonna be on the Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys, C Dub and Bobby. So make sure y'all rock with us, and of course, Big Hayes on Chicago Bull Central for pregame,
Sure.
halftime, and postgame. Y'all already know how we rock. I'm your boy, Big Bro. We're going to holler at y'all tomorrow for another prediction show. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the number one place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted